or is it they just got to play and face the music with the contract that they themselves signed and agreed to and are making millions of dollars for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like Gates said earlier, I almost feel bad for them making all that money still. Man, must suck.
Welcome in to the Third and Wrong YouTube channel. We got a nice new spicy video for you guys after a long hiatus. So before we get into everything real quick, Gage, how are you doing? How you been?
I'm doing good. I'm tired. Moved again. Got a new job.
Here we go.
Down the street from Dylan now.
Got the grind on.
Jeez, Mike.
Sorry.
He's trying to break his microphone to get out of recording today.
How you been? How you doing?
Great. I'm fantastic. A little under the weather right now, but I'm still here.
There you go. I like it. Well,
Look at that.
If you guys haven't seen our videos in a while, it's because we got busy. Not a lot of stuff to talk about in the NFL right now. So we are coming back with the training camp first week back. So we got some stuff to talk about, mainly running backs. That's probably why you clicked onto this video. But we're also going to be talking about our teams. We're going to talk about the Browns, Patriots, and the Colts. So if you like those teams, that's something that you get to look forward to as well. We're going to be talking about the draft, all the free agency signings, stuff like that. But also, before we get into this video, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe for us. Helps us out a bunch. We're going to get going with a lot of content now that the season is right upon us. And we're going to be dropping, more and more content. Hopefully stuff that you like. And those comments help us kind of dictate where we go with our content. So help us out with that, and we'll get into this video. All right, like I said, we're going to be talking about the NFL running back situation. And if you know what my team is, you know that I'm probably in the thickest part of the storm right now with this whole running back situation. But we got a lot of people to talk about, mainly Jonathan Taylor right now. But we're also going to be talking about Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook, DeAndre Swift, basically the whole running back market, where it's at right now, because it's a hot button issue. And I'll open up to you guys. What are your thoughts on Jonathan Taylor, the Colts, Jimmer saying all sorts of stuff right now? What are your thoughts right now? Okay. All right. Traded, plays out the season, sits out the season. What are your?
He's not sitting out the season. He's playing out the season.
Yeah.
See, it's good. We're going to talk about it later, but running backs have absolutely no leverage whatsoever. So, and in fairness to one, I think I've said it a couple times too, that I see a lot of old Browns owners and Jim Irsay, the older he gets, that dude is getting crazier and crazier, and it's just going to do that. How are you going to piss off your best player? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I'd be pretty upset if I was Jonathan Taylor, but I just think it's funny.
Oh, yeah. What about what he said would piss you off if you're Jonathan Taylor?
The fact that you have a child as an owner, bro. That guy
what did he say?
Trash.
Let's get some specifics instead of just generalizing it.
Referring to what Jim Irsay said?
Yeah.
If we're going to do that, I'll pull up exactly what he said.
Exactly. Let's do it. I don't care. I mean, if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. But we got
just
obligation to tell people what was being said.
Well, the latest thing he said is, if I die tonight and Jonathan Taylor's out of the league, no one's gonna miss us. The league goes on. What was the other one? He was saying that what's the directing the bad faith.
The CBA, they already had a deal with the CBA, and the way that they're trying to renegotiate deals is in bad faith.
We have negotiated a CBA that took years of effort and hard work and compromise and good faith by both sides. To say now that a specific player category wants another negotiation after the fact is inappropriate. Some agents are selling bad faith as they're going through and doing he's doing contract negotiations with Jonathan Taylor because Jonathan Taylor wasn't a first-round draft pick, so he doesn't have that fifth-year option. So then JT and him went back and forth on Twitter. And then they put him on, what was it? Like physically unable to perform?
There's the NFI list, basically, like injured outside of like
Football.
Outside of football, basically. He is on the physically unable to perform list because he did have an ankle injury last year. He had surgery on it or whatever. That's all legit. But the Colts are saying that he had a back injury sustained outside of football. And if that's true and it limits him on the field, they don't have to pay him, basically. If he doesn't play.
And then there's the fact that he didn't pass his physical as well.
Yeah. So my perspective on that, everything that you laid out, I think is fine outside of just the, is it the best way to negotiate with your running back? I don't think it's the best way ever, but I don't think what Irsay is saying is wrong either. And I guess I kind of take from Pat McAfee, but
that's what I was going to say. There's good and positives from both sides. I don't like. I think it's the wrong team to be trying to make this point in stance because the Colts refuse to pay anybody basically, unless it's their own players. So you have your own player, and now you're refusing to pay him.
Well, okay, so I was actually talking about this with my buddy who he actually lived around Indiana, and his family is a lot more invested in the Colts, so they know a little bit more about it than me sometimes. But the same agent that Jonathan Taylor has is the same agent that Victor Oladipo had when he was with the Pacers, when he was trying to get a ton of money from a different team, and then ended up having to go to Miami Heat on a really small prove-it deal. And so the agent kind of has a track record too of not doing the best for his representation. And Jonathan Taylor before this new agent was all go team, this is my team kind of deal. Now this agent's making him basically hold in the facility and not play until he has a new contract. And so that's where it's maybe the agent is making too much of a mess in the situation, whereas the Colts, like you said, do like to pay their own players. They overpaid their own offensive line because they played great. They paid Jacoby Brissett more money because he was their starting quarterback. They didn't have to do that. They paid Andrew Luck more money when he retired because they liked Andrew Luck and they didn't have to do that. So if Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion, wanted to go and say, let's go team, I'm sure that they could have worked out a good deal and have something set in stone. And, maybe it's more incentive laden for a running back, but I feel like it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Colts would have wanted to do a deal with Jonathan Taylor.
Well, Mikey, what are you thinking?
Dude, I'm a Patriots fan. We never have good running backs, okay? So I don't know what it's like to have a good one and pay a good one. So
what about Ramondre Stevens' season, baby?
I mean, hey, guess what? He's just going to get the old Damian Harris treatment. He's going to play all right, and we're going to draft one next year. And then once Ramondre needs his deal, he's just going to be out the door.
I'm trying to find Ramondre Stevenson on this this running back list for getting paid. Pierre Strong is getting paid more than him.
There he is, 59.
Yep, 59. So yeah, Patriots. This is kind of a conversation that Patriots don't even have.
No.
But the thing that I see, what I think is going on, because so Jonathan Taylor. My expectation is the Colts aren't going to trade him. He's eventually going to play, and then he's going out doing whatever after this year. I'm okay with that. I mean, it would suck if we don't get anything in trade value from Jonathan Taylor, because then you can just get another cheap running back that might be just as good kind of deal. But what I think that's going to happen, and I think a lot of this kind of stems from Austin Eckler and what the Chargers have been doing with running back since Melvin Gordon. And I think that's kind of the big nebulous of what's going on is Austin Eckler.
I think it's a combination of a bunch of. I think it's with Todd Gurley, who was elite, absolutely crazy, and the second he signed his deal was garbage, and his body couldn't stay healthy. And then there was the Le'Veon Bell, and then the Ezekiel. There was like multiple contracts in a row that just turned really bad, and you're like, okay, so do we pay this elite guy that's been helping us? Because we know in like 2 more years, technically, he's probably going to start just dying. Like he's not going to play well. And JT's already done that. I mean, he missed two or three games his first season as a rookie. He played all of the year before, and then last year he was hurt pretty much all season. So why would you want to go out there and pay a running back that, yeah, he had a crazy year, but that was it. Like he had one like incredible year.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, like his rookie year was, 1,000-yard rushing season. That's not that crazy in the NFL anymore. That's like 60 yards a game, I think is what the math is. 65.
It's got to be more than that. I think it's like around 80, 85. But no, I get what you're saying where, like...
Nope, it's 63.
It's 63. Wow, that's crazy.
And that gets you over 1,000. Right, so it depends on how you look at it. And then you can get running backs. And if you go back to that list, Dylan, go to the top. Let's look at this.
Okay, yeah. Let me pull it up on our video here because I'm not showing it right now. Okay. Let's see here. Let me get my stuff fixed real quick.
Okay. As like a guy, like, is he just a dog? Yeah, he's a really good player, and I want to pay him. Right, that's good. That's Christian McCaffrey, first round pick, right? Worth it, but that's a lot of money, and it's even everybody that's doing that is. It's kind of nervous with him because he is injury prone like none other. Alvin Kamara, a 3rd-round pick or 4th-round pick? Derek was the first. Yeah. Nick Chubb was the second. Aaron Jones was a 4th. Tony Pollard, I don't even know. Josh Jacobs and Saquon were firsts. James Conner was like a 3rd. Miles Sanders was a 2nd, I believe. Austin Eckler was undrafted. Kareem Hunt was a 6th. Joe Mixon was a 2nd. David Montgomery, I believe, was a 2nd or a 3rd. Like, you look at all these guys, you don't have to spend premium picks to get these running backs that can produce really good numbers for you. So then the running backs have no leverage.
Okay, so let me talk to you about your boy Nick Chubb. So Nick Chubb, how much is he worth to you? Like, if you just like outside of the running back market right now, how important is he to the Browns right now? And not like I get the offensive line is great, but like, how important is Nick Chubb for your team?
Nick Chubb is the best running back in football.
Okay,
period. I will fight anybody that like goes argue. If you gave him the touches that anybody else got in the league. Because the reason why Nick Chubb is able to play all the time is because they don't give him those ridiculous touches, so he doesn't get hurt. But if you did, he would put up those numbers and some. The dude gets like 5 yards to carry with contact. It's nuts. This guy is the best running back in football. What he's getting paid right now?
Where is his rank with the Browns? Like best as a Browns player, is he top 3?
5.
Okay. Who do you have above him? Obviously, Myles Garrett.
Watson, Myles Garrett. Probably Nick Chubb or Joel Bitonio. Like Nick Chubb of like talent wise, but I think Joel Bitonio is probably.
So okay, so let's go and take a look.
But, I think Nick Chubb is like the guy.
Yeah,
and I think what he's getting paid is worth it, and his contract's been worth it. But Nick Chubb is what makes him awesome.
Nick Chubb is a top 5 guy, right?
Yeah.
So he's getting paid top 5 as well for the Browns. Like he's deserved that, right? Like that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go look at the Chargers. I would say Austin Eckler deserves to be what? Is he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? I don't think he's a top 10 player. JC Jackson, I mean, obviously he got brought in. You had to pay him that money if you wanted to get him in. But I don't think he's less important than Corey Linsley. Like, he's good, but like, I don't think he's that. Austin Johnson, honestly, like maybe like. My point is Austin Eckler is not getting paid what Austin Eckler's value is to the team because of this market, and because owners can say, well, you know, we don't have to pay you. And so that's where I think a lot of this argument is should running backs get, you know, kind of a new deal going on?
No, I don't think so. I understand where it's at, but you've got a guy like Nick Chubb who's getting paid the money he should.
And but he's better than top 10 on his team.
Eckler is 10.
I know, but he's better than 10.
Yeah, I think Justin Herbert's better than 12, but that's where Justin Herbert's at right now.
Well, that's he's already got a new deal. He's going to be the highest paid player in the NFL next year, so he's already taken care of. But
what I'm saying is Austin Eckler was undrafted. He got his money. He's not getting what he thinks he deserves. I think he's worth more value-wise to his team. But next year when he's gone, they can find somebody else that will replace him just fine.
That's just fine as in like they can get the 3 to 4 yards that they need, but I don't think you're going to replace the same type of receiving threat that he is.
No, but you can do it in the aggregate. You can do it with 2 guys. You can do it with 3 guys. And that's what's going to happen.
What's going to happen is someone's going to want to pay Eckler more money, and so it's not going to be the money that he deserves. But like the reason why he's going to go somewhere else is because another team's going to say, "Hey, we can use this guy to boost our numbers." Like I think running backs definitely have like a reason to want something new to go on. I think that's fair.
I mean, I understand. Like, I get why that's fair. Like, I understand that they want more. Everyone will want more and want what they're valued. What I'm saying is there's nothing that they can do about it, unfortunately for them. Because you had somebody that was that elite top 3 position that held out and it crumbled. You had that guy that was top 3 that got his money and it blew back in the owners' faces. So, like, they are struggling. And we talked about it off thing, but it would need Nick Chubb to get another contract and play really good. And then it would take another couple guys to get a good contract and play their contract out for them to start building up more value.
That's fair. I'm just looking at this. It's crazy looking at the numbers. So the top guys getting paid right now are Derrick Henry, who I think we can all agree deserves that money, right?
He's second best in the league. He's good.
Yeah. So he's the best player, and it's just crazy that like a player like AJ Brown, which AJ Brown's great, but I don't think he's as dominant as Derrick Henry is, and AJ Brown gets paid so much money.
Well, so this is it. Derrick Henry is more dominant than AJ Brown, and I'm glad you brought this up actually, because this will help prove the aspect. What happened to the Titans when they traded AJ Brown? It was like all hell went loose. Like,
same thing
that
when
struggled because they can't throw the damn
Derrick
ball.
Henry got hurt. That was the same thing.
They had Deontay Foreman that was crazy for a few
but
weeks.
When it wasn't even just this year. It was the other year where Derrick Henry wasn't there. They had a slide because Derrick Henry wasn't there.
Right. But they have also had a slide since they got rid of AJ Brown.
Yeah.
And the Eagles added AJ Brown to a Jalen Hurts, and that offense exploded even more.
Yeah, but they also had, Miles Sanders.
But Miles Sanders has been there forever, and they were like, you're good, whatever, get out of here.
Jalen Hurts made a leap. It was his second year as a full-time starter.
Who?
Jalen Hurts.
What about him?
It was his second year as a full-time starter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be AJ Brown, but it could be a whole lot of other different reasons, too.
I think it's the best offensive line of football. That helps a lot, too.
Also that. But yeah, I mean, like, obviously you can see you got Derrick Henry, Cleveland Browns, you got, Nick Chubb. Raiders, Josh Jacobs. That was the other guy that kind of had an interesting franchise tag situation. Saquon Barkley also got this franchise tag, if I remember correctly. Then we got the Chargers, Packers, Cardinals. Cardinals one is kind of crazy to me because who is the Cardinals running back?
James Conner.
Oh, yeah, that's who's getting the money, huh? Yep. James Conner's getting $10 million. How's James Conner getting $10 million?
And there you go. There's the point. How is this running back getting this much money and their team sucks?
No, this is James Conner who doesn't deserve this money.
I know. I'm saying, like, you pay a guy.
No. He never deserved that money, in my opinion.
He had that one year.
When did James Conner ever earn $10 million a year?
That year and a half period where the Cardinals were winning games, the year prior before they had a running back, they could not capitalize in the red zone whatsoever. And then that next season, James Conner came in and they had, they were like 7-0 or 8-0 or whatever, and he was just hawking all goal line touchdowns. Yeah. People are getting all upset in fantasy, but that's because they were able to punch things in because they had a running back. It's positive and negatives. Unfortunately for the running back position, football is turning into a quarterback-driven league where you throw the football. And the core positions are quarterback, tackle, edge, and defensive back, and wide receiver.
Part of what I think is, I think there are some possibilities for us to kind of make this right for the running backs if they want to go and make something different, because otherwise right now what's going to happen is running backs are going to get drafted high, they're going to get to play 4 years, and then they get to go play as if they're a 100th best wide receiver. They're going to get paid like that, like they're not going to get paid good money even though they're top 1 or 2 at their position in their team. Like they're going to get paid less because of all that, right? So I have some interesting ideas for how running backs can get paid. We kind of already talked about them, but for the viewers, if you do have any comments to drop, this is the time to do it. I'm going to share some potential possibilities for the running backs, and then you guys can also weigh in on your opinions on those ideas. That good?
I think Mikey's a little sick.
Mikey's not as energetic as typical, but all right. So here I listed out a few different ideas. So one is you can create a whole running back salary cap outside of the real 53-man salary cap, or I guess it's technically the 51-man salary cap that the NFL has. So in essence, that would be like, say, the running backs in total have a cap of $15 million. And you can put that towards one running back, or you can put that to, a committee of running backs. Next.
Yeah. They've been trying to think about that with like quarterbacks, because quarterbacks are starting to be ridiculous with the cap, and it's struggling for teams.
What if they do like positional
quarterback one? Well, if they do their own positional thing, then you're just turning into the NBA where every Joe Schmo is getting the Supermax deal because that's what's up next, and that's what they can get paid.
Okay. The other one here is
we're forgetting like the main thing. The owners own the league, and they are stingy bastards. They will not give that money, so they'll never make it so the players can make more money. They'll do everything they can to make them make more money than the players are going to make more money.
Keep that thought for later too. Like I like what you're thinking there too. This next one is creating like a league back, whether it's NFLPA or just the NFL in some form. They create a kind of like an add-on to what they already do. Like if a player outperforms his contract, they get a stipend at the end of the year, to kind of balance off their efforts of the year. So basically it'd be like that on steroids for running backs. If they, hit certain numbers, metrics or whatever, they get a bonus that doesn't come out of the team's paycheck. It comes out of the paycheck of either the NFL, NFLPA, or whatever, however they negotiate that. So that way, a team who's paying Jonathan Taylor, say, $4 million a year, if Jonathan Taylor goes out and rushes for 1,800 yards like he did in his second year, then, he gets, a $6 million, pay bump or something like that for that year. And he's getting paid $10 million, and that doesn't come out of the Colts paycheck. So the Colts have an incentive to get Jonathan Taylor all the yards and all the touches and all the catches possible to, make that guy want to stay with the Colts.
So with that saying, it says it doesn't come out of the Colts paycheck. Meaning, like, it doesn't come out of their salary cap, or does it come out of Jim Irsay's pocket? Because somebody's
Either,
going to have
yeah.
to pay it. So
Well,
then
I mean,
where does the money come from?
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's like a potential negotiation where the NFL and NFLPA come in and say, okay, we got all this revenue for the NFL, and we make a salary cap out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we take X amount of proportion of money or whatever. If, you know, these players hit these different, you know, metrics, then that money comes out of whatever that's
Roger Goodell's
negotiated.
pocket.
Basically, well, the league's pocket, essentially, rather than a specific team or something like that.
That's okay.
That's what I said.
I like that one more than the positional.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you can make that positional argument for if you do like a quarterback. I think that would solve this problem. Actually, if we do this, if we made not a running back specific, but a quarterback specific salary cap, where the quarterbacks didn't go against your cap dropped a bit, but you could pay quarterbacks what you wanted without having that effect as much.
Okay, so
then every other position can get paid more. So then you're not having to worry about paying your running back as much because you're like, oh, that's not as valuable a position because we can get a good third rounder in here that'll cost, you know, a fraction of the price. But
so
instead,
here's another potential possibility with the first option of creating a running back separate cap, right? Say you do like you got $20 million cap on your running back. So no running back essentially is going to make more than $20 million, which I don't think that's even realistic right now outside of Jonathan Taylor, right? You know, maybe say 25 or whatever. But whatever money is not used towards running backs, say you don't want to pay all your running backs a total of $25 million, you get use like 60% of that, whatever's remaining, to, bolster the rest of your roster. So if you can, get like a Jonathan Taylor, at $15 million, that's going to be more beneficial than, say, if you don't spend that $50 million, it might be closer to $10 million somewhere else, on one or two players. So, I don't know, something like that, where there's if you have all the space to pay running backs, that doesn't affect your other roster. But if you happen to not use all your money, either it rolls over to the next years or something like that, or you can take 25% of that and shove that into your other cap of the rest of the team.
I think the only issue with that, I like the idea, is
it might incentivize.
What?
I was gonna say it might incentivize them to not use that money and just push it to their cap anyways.
Well, that, and then the agent part, where you're just going to turn into basketball. We know this is the max you can give us. You're giving us this, period. He's a top 5 in his position. You're giving him that.
Yeah,
and then everyone's going to get that.
Then, you have the James Connors that say, you know what? I'm not going to take $20 million a year. I'll take $12 million, and you get to go and get another $8 million a year running back. So, yeah, you're gonna get some guys that are gonna say, give me the max, give me the max, give me the max. But, shouldn't running backs get that if they're, leading their team, on, say, like 80% of the rushes or something like that?
I'm not saying they don't deserve that money. I'm thinking then there's just gonna be a cap. So then they're gonna push for well, I want more. Because if so-and-so is making $25 million and I know I'm better than him, I should also be making more than that. And then that's just gonna keep going up. Just like they went from the max deal to the super max to the mega max, in the NBA, they just keep adding on.
The other thing though is there's 200 running backs that can go in and say, I'll play for less.
Mm-hmm.
There's not 200 small forwards that can say, you know what, I'm not going to take the super max or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The market's a little bit different than the NBA.
I'm genuinely curious how this is going to fix. I personally think it's just going to keep getting worse.
So I got another few options here. So the next one, it's kind of similar to creating the NFL backed incentives, but it would be a subsidy based on metrics. So what it would be is if Jonathan Taylor proves that he can, take, say 60% of the snaps when he's healthy, he's suited up for a game for 3 years, he's accounted as a tenured running back or whatever, and so his contracts for the rest of his career are going to be subsidized. So he can take less money from a team and still make X amount of money or whatever, But because he's put in the work, the 3 years, to establish himself as a running back in the NFL, his subsidy makes him more valuable because teams don't have to pay out of their own pocket as much. And so, they can still ask for more and more money, right? But it's also a benefit for the team because they don't have to hit the top end of that contract, and those players can also, kind of do that for themselves. So that's another option there too. And then I got a few other kind of more radical ideas for you guys if you want them.
Throw them out there. Shoot, why not?
Oh, yeah. So we kind of talked about this, but one way to kind of create money for running backs specifically, I don't know if it's going to be everything that everyone loves, but allowing running backs to get a advertiser for their jersey. So, you know how on the NBA they have the little shoulder patch for like Rocket or GE or something like that. The running backs can say, you know what, we want to get Goodyear tires or something like that. We're gonna have Goodyear tires on all of the running backs' jerseys, and Goodyear is gonna pay say $80 million for that. So running backs get more money out of that whole deal or something like that. They kind of get their own little running back pool for advertising money. All the jerseys bought, all the revenue brought from the advertising goes into the running backs making more money altogether, and they can kind of create their own little system of who delegates the money to who based on whatever. So just a way to we're not going to take money away from the NFL and the NFL owners or the teams or whatever. We're going to create a different revenue stream for the running backs, so that way they can kind of get paid their money.
I know to most fans that's kind of ridiculous, like having the sponsors on the jerseys and whatnot. But like with Mikey and I, we grew up soccer fans, so that's just second nature. Teams have all over their jerseys, so it'll happen at one point. In the NFL, it'll happen at one point.
Yeah. And then the other one is creating a running back draft, kind of like a supplemental draft where you basically what's the word? You don't bet, but like you bid on running backs. You bid on running backs with like whatever draft position. So, say the Falcons this year, they want Bijan Robinson. They would say, I want, BJ Robinson. I would give a first round draft pick for him. And they have the highest pick out of everyone that puts in for Bijan Robinson. They get Bijan Robinson for that thing. And then you go on to the next running back, Jahmyr Gibbs or whatever. And then you have bids on these running backs, so that way they have a whole different drafting system, and you can kind of pinpoint what running backs you want, kind of get that out of the way, and then those contracts are geared to be like high output running backs like Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kendre Miller, other running backs like that. They get paid higher at the first part of their contract for their expected production, and they get to go on the market sooner or something like that. I don't know.
We're getting to fantasy football.
Well, yeah. So they do supplemental drafts for, what's his face that went to, I want to say the Cardinals or something like that.
This guy right here. This guy was a supplemental.
Oh, Josh Gordon. Yeah. So Josh Gordon is an example there. The Browns basically bid a pick to get Josh Gordon, and they had to spend that draft capital. That pick was taken away from the Browns in order to get Josh Gordon. Same kind of thing could happen for the running backs. And so to me that's a potential option. I think those last two are a little bit more radical than the rest, but yeah. Anyways, now that we've talked about all of those things, what do you think happens legitimately with Jonathan Taylor, with Austin Eckler? Do you think anything happens, changes in a big way, or is it they just got to play and face the music with the contract that they themselves signed and agreed to and are making millions of dollars for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Gates said earlier, I almost feel bad for them making all that money still. Man, must suck. Get over it.
Yeah,
I'm not a running back league anymore. You guys had your time in the early 2000s.
Well, I mean, dude, still now today though, every league until you get to maybe D1 P5 college football every league is run by running backs. So they've gotten to be the glory boys for every stage of their career until the NFL, where they're still making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, millions of dollars a year.
You know what? With these NIL deals that are coming out, maybe this will help with that because they'll already be coming in with money because running backs are so crucial in college football.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll be making more in college.
Yeah.
Good. I see. That's a good point.
But I say get your money when you can. Get every penny that you can. Don't have any loyalties for another team because no one has a loyalty for a running back right now. So do what
Except
you
for
can
the Cleveland Browns and Nick Chubb, baby.
Oh, yeah.
That man right there.
All right. Well, speaking of, do you want to
Nick
get
Chubb.
into the Cleveland Browns offseason?
Yeah. So,
All right, guys.
I did not hear what he said.
I was like, all right, guys, I'm black.
All right, guys. Bye. Deuces.
Talking about the Browns, I'm out.
Just like the Browns. Browns are out.
Out of unlike the out of the three teams we have here, unlike these two Colts and Patriots fans over here, the Browns actually have a chance to make the playoffs this year.
Every other team in the AFC North just disappear or something?
No. But Deshaun Watson is the Browns quarterback, and he good.
Oh, yeah. Looked real good last year when he got to start playing.
Have you looked at the stuff that they've been doing in training camp, bro? He
Ooh,
looks like
training camp. Oh, man.
Matt Jones looks like prime Tom Brady in training
No,
camp.
he doesn't. Bro,
Hey,
Patriots
Zach Wilson.
are literally having to edit videos of his throws in midair to make it look like he's completely
That's why he
Hey.
looks like Tom Brady in training camp.
Deshaun Watson looks like Zach Wilson in training camp, too.
Draft combine, Zach Wilson, maybe.
Exactly. You know, those shorts help you throw the ball a few extra yards.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson is like, we could talk about everything in this offseason that we did, and we will, but that's where it's going to come down to. Is Deshaun Watson that everyone knew before all this stuff came out, that people were like, yeah, this guy right here, it's either him or Patrick Mahomes. These are the two best quarterbacks in football. And everyone wants to talk about how that didn't happen, and they're just going to forget it because everything he did. And we're not disregarding that. We're talking about football. That guy was a baller. It was Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, he had me shaking in my boots when he had the Texans going 4-12 his last year. Ooh.
Yeah, after
I was
Billy
shaking my
O'Brien-
boots.
After Billy O'Brien decided he wanted to freaking wreck that franchise.
Oh, man. I'm just giving you crap.
Pretty
No,
sure
I
they
mean,
still won a
Deshaun
playoff
Watson's
game
got
more recently
talent.
than your team, but
I mean, he's only, you know, that last year when he faced the Colts, he only cost them the game 2 times with last-minute fumbles in both games.
Yeah.
So
I'm not worried. But free agency. Most importantly, we fired Joe Woods.
there you go.
Let's celebrate, okay? Fired his bum ass. A year after they should have. Joe Woods was garbage. Okay. Then they picked up Jim Schwartz, who's a good pickup. He was the Eagles' defensive coordinator when they won the Super Bowl against the Patriots. When Big Dick Nick Foles gave it to Tommy Brady.
Yeah, I mean,
and it
anyone
is
could
now-
have given it to the Patriots that year.
least we've won 6 of them.
Yeah, and it is Tommy Brady now, as everyone should know. He bought into Birmingham Football Club because he's been watching too much Peaky Blinders. So he's like, you know what I want to do? I want to switch football for football.
Ha!
Other things that they did, they got rid of Jadeveon Clowney, who at one point of the season last year was just like, yeah, I'm not going in on that
He'll
down.
be back.
I'm only going in a third down when we're pass rushing. I don't want to play. You're only giving Myles Garrett the good plays.
He'll be back after training camp because he doesn't participate in this.
Yeah, that's true. He will be back after that. What's funny is like they came out like he was complaining that Myles Garrett they're giving all Myles Garrett the good plays. Like, bro, Myles Garrett's like the most doubled player in NFL football. What are you talking about? He's doubled and chip blocked every play. Every play. And the often plays that he's not, he usually gets sacks. So I don't know what he wants, but that was funny. But we replaced him with Zadarius Smith, which I thought is a really good pickup.
Oh yeah.
I'm really happy with that. They also went after the other defensive lineman from Minnesota Vikings, and they picked up Dalvin Tomlinson. I thought that was really good. And then they also picked up a young guy, Okoronkwo, from the Texans. I'm not even going to try to say his first name. They also have all... What? Agbonia? Yeah. And then they've had safety troubles over the last few years, and they're trying to shore that up with Juan Thornhill from the Chiefs. Won a couple Super Bowls, and he's played really well. He had a couple years ago a season injury.
And
Ronnie McLeod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on now. You know I got this stuff.
Oh yeah.
They re-signed Ethan Posich, our center that blew up last year after
all of your centers went down.
Yeah, in preseason, and then he came out and was elite. And then also we re-signed Anthony Walker as a linebacker.
There you go.
Good free agency. We focused on the defensive line, which we desperately needed. And we are improving that through our draft as well. We picked up Cedric Tillman from Tennessee, who, if you watch the Hall of Fame game, that guy's big. Holy cow. Yeah. I didn't realize how big he was. And
he's a big dude.
He's fast, too. He's violent when he runs his routes. I'm excited to see him.
He was Tennessee's guy before he went down, and then Jalen Hyatt, kind of burst onto the scene.
Yeah. And I think, off topic, I think Jalen Hyatt going to the Giants was like the worst team for him to go to.
Yeah. But they got a weird just stable of wide receivers. But yeah.
Yeah. Then we picked up Big Beef Boy, Siaki Ika, defensive tackle from Baylor. Something that Browns fans have been wanting forever. Dude, somebody that can just stop the damn run. Like, we were so easy to beat last year because if you're just like, you know what, I want to run it right up the middle, you were getting 5 yards. And we lost the game last year because the Falcons couldn't do a damn thing. And then they're like, we've got this second and third and fourth string running back. We're going to run it 22 straight times. And they won't stop it once. And they beat us because of it. They just ran the ball from the third quarter to the fourth quarter 22 straight times.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pathetic. And then we got, I think, the steal of the draft, DeJuan Jones. That dude, if he can decide he wants to play football and keep weight down, looks the part. That guy's, and then he played very well against the Jets edge rushers, who they were playing their first round draft pick and their first round draft pick from the year prior. So he was getting good NFL reps. And he didn't allow a pressure.
Oh, and you guys have probably the best coach for him, too. So that's awesome.
Yes, we do. That's true. And then we got a bunch of other guys that aren't necessarily huge, big deals, apart from Dorian Thomas-Robinson from UCLA. And all those fans that are like, man, can't believe we paid Deshaun Watson this much money so we can have this guy. Go back to when we were like 1-15, 2-14, okay? Like, that's what the caliber of quarterback he is. Okay, Josh Dobbs looked like he did in the preseason.
Or what's his face? Who was that second round quarterback that you guys had from Notre Dame?
Sean Kaiser.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like DTR. I think he'll.
I do too. He's a fun guy to watch.
Yeah, I think he'll get some play this year, especially in the red zone. I think he'll get some plays drafted up for him, I think, because that's kind of a trend in the NFL right now.
I pray not. If you're in the red zone, you better use that guy you pay $240 million to, guaranteed.
That's fair, but I mean, I think they did that with Jacoby Brissett, right?
Just QB sneaks because Brissett's sneak god.
Yeah,
I think he's converted
I think they'll find a way to get DTR on the field. He's got some good talent, so.
But really, that's the big gist of the Browns offseason. We could sit here and talk about every little position and all the things that can be done. Is our defensive line going to be able to do this? Are we going to be able to stop the pass? Will our team finally figure out how to run cover 2 without, looking at each other like they're morons on the field with their hands up? Like, I thought you had them. It happened repeatedly last year. It really will come down to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Will he be good? Yes or no? And then that brings it back to earlier. If you're watching the full video, Dylan talked about like how important is Nick Chubb to the Browns. And I'm like, well, if you asked me last year, he's like crucial. We'll see how he is this year because now we're gonna have a full year of Deshaun Watson, and he's the guy. So I'm curious on to see how they mesh together.
Yeah.
But that is my long-winded. The Browns will make it to the Super Bowl, guys.
We'd be taking the Browns to the Super Bowl every day.
Hey, listen. He's going to the Super Bowl. He has been massaged up like none other, prepping for a year. He is loose and ready to go.
Oh, no. All right. Mikey.
Oh, boy.
Mikey. Your boys, the Patriots.
Yep.
We'd be talking about them. What are your thoughts?
How's D-Hop?
Oh, he's great.
We'll just get that out of the way, I guess.
Great. So annoyed. We had a conversation in our group chat about all that. It sucks not being able to get D-Hop. Obviously, just I don't know. You don't know the whole story. I don't really know if he said anything on why he picked the Titans or whatnot, but
I think the OC was with him
money.
when he had a great year with the Texans.
Oh,
That's why.
yeah, and also Bill O'Brien and that whole deal. But
Yeah.
you know, that should be no hard feelings. Just business, you know.
Hmm.
Bill O'Brien made a business call. What are you gonna do? Yeah, that sucks. So last year we were 8-9. We were third in the AFC East with a
Noodle arm
defensive-
quarterback.
noodle arm quarterback, a defensive coordinator running our offense,
Yep.
with a guy who was a special teams coach for us before he went to the Giants and just ruined that organization and offense. Yeah, so that was no good. But hey, we were still 8-9, one game behind the Dolphins, who had a great year with Tua Tagovailoa and Mike McDaniels, who showed Tua 700 plays of how good of a quarterback he was and how amazing they're going to be this year.
If you can't tell, Mikey's a little salty that the Dolphins went out and got good by receivers.
A little bit, yes. But no, my whole thing with that is Dolphins had such a good year last year, and they finished one game above us. So, I mean, with an absolutely brain-dead offense and people running the offense.
Hey, the Dolphins had a brain dead quarterback too, so I mean,
That's too soon, Dylan.
I mean, well, that is true, yes, but still.
We do like Tua. Okay, I should say. I like Tua.
I don't
I
mind
don't think
him.
he's like an elite quarterback.
No,
We're
he's
not
not.
making jokes about it. It's just come on, that was pretty funny.
hey, first video in, and we're already getting canceled here. So
Yeah. Oh, well.
But coming back with a bang.
there we go.
If you can't take it, oh, well. But anyways, so now starting off, I'll just start there. Got rid of Patricia. Thank the Lord Christ Almighty. I didn't know if Bill was going to be like, yeah, dude, yep, here are the keys again, bro. Go do what you did last year, which was absolutely the S word.
Good job, Mikey.
It was,
That's a new father right there for you guys.
yeah, I'm trying to cut back because here pretty soon she's going to be starting running around yelling, man, what the? Hey, where'd you learn that? Oh, wait, me.
Why'd you break the table?
Oh no.
But so thank God he's gone. Brought in Bill O'Brien, which will hopefully be a plus for Mac Jones because he had Mac Jones firing on all cylinders at Alabama there his last
When he
year.
had 3 first-round wide receivers with him.
Well, yeah, that's true, but they all equate to NFL wide receivers, which is what Mac Jones has on his team is NFL wide receivers. Right?
You can call him that. You can call him
Right?
Wait.
That's the
Do
technical
you
name
still
for
have
him.
Nelson Aguilar?
He's gone. We don't have him anymore.
Oh, okay, never mind. They're
And
not dropping
30-year-old
footballs out there
Devontae
doing
Parker.
Yeah, well, you know, we got him, but we also got Juju Poopster. You know,
it. Juju is a good wide receiver.
He is a good wide receiver. I
And-
think he still gets a little too much hate for his little.
All right, you're a scary, threatening wide receiver core here. Kendrick Bourne. Juju Smith.
He can be good. Kendrick Bourne can
Dude,
be
that's
good.
seriously Jason Bourne's brother. Stop.
Devontae Parker. Tyquan Thornton. Ty Montgomery.
He's going to be elite. He's going to be elite.
Matthew Slater, who doesn't play wide receiver.
He's not a wide receiver.
Rayleigh Webb. Kayshawn Butt.
Dude, no. Booty's going to be good. Booty's going to be so good.
I bet. Demario Douglas.
Isn't Keyshawn Booty the guy that was a first-round draft pick and then decided to like screw it all up and ran like a 5-second 40?
No.
Yeah.
He was going to be. It was not this last season
But
of football.
the Patriots, known wide receiver developers, are going to get that all out of him.
He's more likely to end up more like Aaron Hernandez than he is like a first-round draft pick.
Oh, no, at the end of last season, he was being mocked as a first-round wide receiver.
Yeah, mocked.
Thank you.
Anyways, sorry. We're you guys got some pieces. You got some pieces.
Hey, I mean,
but
honestly,
yeah, Bill O'Brien got Mac Jones looking like a first round pick. So. All right. Let's get this show on the road.
Okay. But yes, what was it? I think Mac Jones threw 41 touchdowns to 4 interceptions his senior year of college.
Nice.
For 4,300 yards.
Okay.
Let's find out. Just real quick. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Yeah. With the parody of D1 football.
So, theoretically speaking, since that was in the SEC, that's basically the NFL. That's how college fans talk. Right? SEC, they're basically all NFL players. So, now that Bill O'Brien's back, I expect 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions.
Like he expects an MVP quarterback.
There we go. I mean, that's what the Patriots are. Like, that's what they expect.
I'd be happy with 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 picks.
There you go.
I'd be happy with that. I just need him to improve from last year, which I don't think will be hard because Matt Patricia will not be calling the plays, and Mac Jones won't have to be like, all right, yeah, guys, that's pretty stupid. We're not going to do that. I'm going to pick my own play here. Or
who else did you guys pick up in the offseason?
Oh, here, I have a list. I'll just do some notable ones here. We officially signed Christian Gonzalez. So that was cool.
That's the Oregon corner, huh? I like him.
Yes. So happy about that. He's going to be legit. We also officially signed Keon White. He was our second-round pick. The D-end out of Georgia Tech.
Have you gotten any free agents?
Free agents. Yeah, we signed Diego Faggot.
Trace McSorley.
Yep. Trace McSauce. Got him. We signed Diego Faggot. We signed Jalen Hurd, but then 6 days later he retired from the NFL.
He saw it with the Patriots. He's like, "Nah, this Belichick way is fucked up. I'm done."
He's like, yeah, Mac Jones sucks.
I do like Riley Reef.
The guard from the Bears.
Yep.
You went way back here. Yeah,
Mike Gesicki with the gritty. Mike McGritty. Mike Gridsicki, is that his name? Mike Gridsicki.
Yep. Yeah, we signed Mike Gesicki.
Hey, I honestly though, like all jokes aside, I can't wait for Mac Jones to throw him a touchdown and have them both green.
Same.
And Juju's just sitting there like, what are we doing?
Who else did we sign? Those are about the only notable people.
Juju, right? You guys got Juju, right?
Yeah, we got Juju as well. Yeah. Okay. And guys that left, we cut James Robinson. We let go of Nelson Aguilar. Damian Harris is gone. Isaiah Wynn, I think he's gone. I don't think we re-signed him. Yeah, he's on the Dolphins now. Go figure. We cut Brian Hoyer.
The
Destroyer, the Destroyers in Las Vegas.
He is in Las Vegas. We also cut Jake Bailey.
Okay, punter.
Yep, our punter. Sorry for I gotta remember that people don't know I like I do. And then those are about all the notable ones.
And then you guys reached for every single draft pick, it seemed like.
Christian Gonzalez
fell to us, dog. He should have been the first corner off the board.
I know. I said that sarcastically.
Traded back and still got him.
I'm saying that sarcastically because you guys just happened to get players. That was ridiculous.
And we got Keon White, who should have been in the first round based on how he played, but I think he fell out because he's a 24-year-old rookie.
Fair.
Yeah, Bill doesn't care.
Bill does not care. Shit, you're 30 years old, buddy. Hell, you played about 5 snaps of D3 football. You look pretty good out there. I'm thinking about taking.
When I was 30, I was 25 years old.
That was your first round pick last year. How old were you?
How old are you? 37? Hell yeah, brother. Get on over here.
I'm giving him a country accent like he isn't like.
I don't know why I did that.
I like Marte Mapu.
Yes,
Mapu.
That's a good pick too. Low key one.
Low key. He kind of reminds me of the safety that you guys took from FCS all those years ago.
Duggar.
Yeah, Kyle Duggar.
Kyle Duggar. Yeah.
A little bit more on the linebacker side from Duggar, but
bro, the ball knowledge on me is unreal.
Good job, Gage. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. I needed that.
We officially signed him too.
Nice. To be honest, I don't know most of these other people other than Keishon Butte and Demario Douglas.
Are you looking at the draft right now?
Yeah.
So, what do you think's going to happen, Mike? Patriots, upcoming season.
Where do they rank, though, in the AFC East? I mean, the Bills, obviously, number 1. Jets, obviously, number 2. Dolphins, obviously, number 3. So where would you put them?
We're 4. Dude,
and somehow they'll finish second.
For real, though.
It's so hard that the AFC is good. You could argue that it's probably one of the best, like, or hardest division in football now to be in.
I would say it's going to be with like the NFC East, the AFC North, as far as like how close the divisional teams are.
I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. For like to just in general, with now the Bills going to be probably splitting games with the Jets, and maybe they split games last year. I mean, you're always going to probably split games with whatever, but your division opponents. But I think it's going to be a little closer than just Bills won for sure. Nothing you can do about it now. So
I mean.
I would put the Jets above them almost.
You believe in that height?
Well, I mean, if it was any other quarterback than Aaron Rodgers, I would not believe in the hype. But since it's Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to buy in just a little bit. And also, Josh Allen in the past 2 years has led the league in red zone turnovers with 50.
Wow.
Yeah, he's also put together 13 win plus seasons. In those last 2 years?
He's also had a QBR rating under 100 in 3 out of his 4 years as a starter or something.
He's also a white boy literally dunking on people when he's dumping in the end zones.
Well, I think it was his 2020. He had a 101 QBR. And then after, like, it was like mid. And then it's like, oh yeah, hey, I'm pretty good. And it's like, okay, now I'm trash again. But he's still somehow fooling people, and I think he's just going to keep getting exposed here.
I want to come back to this, but finish up your Patriots thing, and then I have something to talk about with kind of this AFC East thing after.
But to answer your question, Dylan, where would I put him? I have no idea. Honestly, it's so hard to try and pinpoint him. But I mean, to be like honest, if you're any other team looking into this division, so like you guys looking into the NFC or AFC East, you're probably going to put the Patriots last.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Rough, almost third or fourth at least.
I would say so.
Yeah. So it's probably the Bills, Jets, Patriots, Dolphins interchanged.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the only thing, though, that is tough is I think the Patriots' offensive line isn't where it has been in the past years. Like, last year was rough, and you guys didn't really do a whole lot to upgrade it. So, like,
were you guys injured last year, though? Or was it just players not good?
It was, I think David Andrews was hurt for a little bit. And I don't really think we had too many injuries, though. I think Wynn might have got hurt for a little bit.
So your tackles right now are Trenton Brown, Riley Reif, Calvin Anderson, Connor McDermott, and Andrew Stuber. And Trenton Brown is the only one that's, I would say, worth much right now. Riley Reif is 35 years old.
He's still good, though.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not
he's above average, maybe.
He's serviceable,
maybe, but I do think that's probably going to be the toughest thing right now for the Patriots is to get over the offensive line not being where it has been before.
Yeah,
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, that is true.
And David Andrews is getting old.
Isn't it funny that out of all the positions in the NFL that can play into their 30s and still be like elite and people not really worry about it are offensive linemen who get beat every single play?
That is true.
Like defensive linemen, they go they start hitting their 30s and they lose that step and they start going down. But for some reason, those tackles and guards and centers, they just stay there.
They do. I think Jason Kelsey was kind of talking about that in his podcast in one of the early on episodes or something.
Yeah, I like that podcast. They're funny.
Yeah.
So then my question. So last year we had all this Denver Bronco hype, and us as a channel, we did not believe it. We actually, if you want to go back and watch some videos, they're pretty funny. Mikey was a very strong opinion about the Denver Broncos and pissed a lot of Denver fans off, and we got a lot of crap for it. And we didn't hear a damn thing once the season started, huh?
Who was right?
We were right. So I kind of have the same feeling for the Jets. I don't think they're going to be.
I could believe that too.
I don't think they're going to be as bad as what the Broncos were, because the Broncos were like a dumpster fire, terrible.
Oh, they were terrible.
But I think that they're like a 500 team.
You're just saying that because Nathaniel Hackett's there too.
I forgot about that. No, I'm just saying that because the Jets are the Jets, and Aaron Rodgers was in a system that he was familiar with, and all he did was lose Devontae Adams. And I should say, all he lost. Devontae Adams is the best wide receiver in football for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But he lost Devontae, and then all of a sudden he just didn't know how to play. He was turning the ball over like none other. He looked bad. He just didn't play great for Aaron Rodgers.
But he had Christian Watson who can't catch with stickum on his gloves, and then you had three other guys that just they didn't know where to be. I don't blame that on Aaron Rodgers. I blame that on them not preparing him with enough talent.
So you guys. That was my question. Is you guys, how do you feel about Aaron this year? Do you think that
biggest
last
thing
year
is the tackles
something
for the
he's
Jets
going to come
too.
back up from, or do you think that's something that he's going to keep going down like this?
So Aaron Rodgers had lost a lot of offensive line talent, and Bakhtiari wasn't really all that healthy. The Jets do have a pretty decent line, other than they don't have their tackles for sure set.
They have their tackles for sure set. They just don't know which ones are going to start.
Exactly,
because their tackles are really good.
Decent.
They just don't know if Mekhi Becton can get in there.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is they have hella running backs for them to run, throw to, all that good stuff. Got hella wide receivers to throw to.
Garrett Wilson.
And tight ends, I think, are in a good position too. So I mean, Aaron Rodgers has definitely enough to work with. And then, I mean, that defense is already one of the best in the league. So I'm buying it way more than I buy the Broncos hype.
Okay.
Mainly because I don't think Nathaniel Hackett's going to be calling timeouts or game managing. So
well, I mean,
we're good. He's just calling
Aaron
plays.
Rodgers is his own offensive coordinator. He'll work with other guys, but he's his own guy. That's what I was just wondering. I'm wondering how you guys are feeling about him. Because you guys know I love Aaron Rodgers. I love me some A-Rod.
I'm interested on the Dolphins. I think that they have a chance to be as good as they were if Tua is still healthy. Because I really like Mike McDaniels there. He's really good. But that defense is kind of getting
Tua
old.
Then?
Huh?
Do we believe the Tua hype?
Yeah, he has a good record whenever he plays and he's healthy. Like, there's nothing really wrong with Tua.
Okay.
And I think he runs his system well, so I don't think there's an issue with the offense. I think the defense is actually in a position that I would worry about because they're just getting older. They're paying a lot of money to their defense, and I just don't know if they're where they were before they got Tua, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's funny. You remember the video we did last year, just having fun, like the Tua and Jalen Hurts comparisons, and they're like storylines in the NFL. Which one's going to do better or whatever? We're like, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do good, and then they both just blew up. We're like, oh, okay, cool. So we just missed big time.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think the Jets and the Bills will duke it out for being like the true like AFC East winner. I think all the AFC teams will AFC East teams will kind of beat each other up, but I do think the Patriots have less edge when it comes to offense, and so that's where it's harder to say the Patriots are going to be consistent winners in the NFL this year.
Okay. So then, fun thing. What about the AFC North? We'll come back to my team. We didn't pick who's going to win the league, win the division.
I really like the Ravens right now. The Browns still have to prove it with Watson. I still believe that they need to prove that they have a wide receiver outside of Cooper. And that's still a tough thing. And then Steelers, I don't really buy Pickett all that much. And then the Bengals. Oh yeah, the Bengals are going to be the people taking it. But I think the real fight is going to be between the Ravens and the Browns. Who's going to be the wild card option for the AFC North? And I don't like the Steelers. I don't like that they don't have a real threat at running back.
Bro, just threw Najee into the bro.
I mean, am I wrong though? What does Najee do other than take open ground and he's still slow? I don't know.
Bro, he's got a really cool stiff arm. When he stiff arms him and gets 1 yard, bro.
Yeah.
It's our offensive line. Dude, I hope they suck. I hope they do. I am praying on the day. Like the Browns can go 8-9, and if the Steelers went 7-10,
yeah,
bet.
AFC South, if you don't mind, I'll kind of speed run this one because we did a few videos already on this channel. So if you want more details, go and do that. But let me hop on over to the Colts here and kind of give you my perspective, and then you guys can obviously talk about Jonathan Taylor ditching us and stuff. So,
all right. But before you hop in real quick, Patriots win an AFC East. That's my opinion.
There you go. Cool.
The Browns will finish second in the AFC North.
Man, you guys are just so objective. I love it. All right.
I just think the Browns are going to finish second. It'll be the Ravens that finish third, and the Bengals will finish third, and all three will make the playoffs. And the Bengals will finish third, not because they're bad, but because I think Joe Burrow is more hurt than what they're talking about, and I think that he'll miss time.
We're on the Colts now. Calm down.
Bro, no one cares about Anthony
chance, buddy.
All right. Okay.
Let's get it.
Let's see here. I just wish that
Bobby Okereke.
Yeah, okay. All right, so the Colts this year, it's a whole lot of staying the same, same but different kind of deal. And so that's how the AFC South is anyway. So same but different. So the Indianapolis Colts, the biggest things that happened is we lost Bobby Okereke, who's our second maybe third best linebacker to the Giants, and he's going to be their best linebacker, so good for the Giants there. The biggest things that we did, we lost Ron McLeod and Yannick Ngakwe, who were big contributors last year for us, so those are going to hurt. And then we also lost Paris Campbell, who was another contributor who had a decent year, had some great highlights, but he's not someone that we were wanting to invest in. So not the biggest losses, but definitely losing some depth there. But we did add in a few players that I really like. Samson Ibukam, who was with the Rams. He was with the Niners last year, but started off with the Rams with their great defense. I think he's going to just be a Ngakwe replacement. A little bit, same but different kind of player. Let's see, who else did we? Gardner Minshew, we added in from Philly because of Shane Steichen. It's kind of a good just bridge quarterback for who we're going to talk about later for most of this. And then Isaiah McKenzie is going to be a contributor on offense. And really outside of that, there wasn't a whole lot of just crazy additions from free agency. And that's because they were gearing up for arguably, not saying they are the best, but arguably the best draft class of 2023.
Oh my gosh.
Which that's not just from Colts territory. That's from a lot of people saying that the Colts had a really good draft as far as just where they took, how many players they took, stuff like that. Anyways,
Josh Downs, how is he doing?
Josh Downs has made some really good plays. I think he had a little bit of a leg injury or something like that at first, but
I like him. He's my boy.
So our draft class consisted, with the headliner Anthony Richardson, where we definitely talked about, there's a big, difference between his highlights and lowlights. And he's very raw, but I think he's going to get the opportunity to play week 1. And this is what the Colts season is going to hinge on: is does Anthony Richardson put it together quick, or is this year just going to be a lot of struggles? And I can see it going either way, to be fair. But I'm really excited about Anthony Richardson as a Colts player. You guys are giggling like, kids in the backseat of a second grade class. What are you guys giggling about?
He passed me a note.
Ooh, read him from the class.
Anthony Richardson sucks ass.
Now.
Okay. But anyway, so Anthony Richardson, obviously we didn't get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, who I really liked the most before the draft happened. But we landed Anthony Richardson, avoided Will Levis, which I'm liking right now. So good decision there between those two. But the Colts
in the draft room all by himself, all lonely and sad.
Dude, players are gonna stop going to the freaking draft,
like Keon White.
They're gonna stop going. He's like,
he believed that own hype though. Like he believed that crap. Like, bro,
so did Keon White.
Yeah, that is true. But
Anyways, let me kind of just go through the important players as I see it for this draft class. So Julius Brents has an opportunity to be a great man corner for us. I don't know if there was a lot of tape to support him being just right off the bat being a great guy, but he's got tools. Josh Downs, he's going to fill in as a slot receiver. Really, really, as far as the value pick goes, really, really good pick. Obviously he has to prove it, but I think that was a really good pick.
And then with your guys, I wanted the Browns to pick him up, but we got Elijah Moore, which just kind of fills that same role.
Yeah.
But you guys have that, really big Alex Pierce and Michael Pittman. You guys got those outsides down. They're not really super shifty, quick players, and that's what Josh Downs is. That guy is a menace with the ball.
They're going to be critters in the forest with our team because we got big tight ends, big wide receivers, big quarterback. Big running back, or I guess not really a big running back yet, but
you don't even have a running back right now.
For real. Big offensive line. So you got Isaiah McKenzie and Josh Downs, who are sub 5'10". They're just going to be critters in the forest, and I like it. The rest of the draft, basically, all you need to say is raw athletic score. These draft picks, basically, they just check off Are they big? Are they fast? Great. Let's add them. Blake Freeland from BYU showed a lot of good pass protection, but his run protection was kind of suspect. Adebawore, he's going to be defensive tackle for us. And then, like I said, the rest of these guys are depth pieces that you might hear about in 2 to 3 years. You might hear a few things this year, but I'm not going to expect a lot from them this year. But I think overall, like I've been saying, Colts, same, but different. The big difference this year is Anthony Richardson can throw more than 30 yards, and he can move outside of the pocket, which is a huge deal for the Colts. After having Matt Ryan, after having Nick Foles, after having Phillip Rivers, after having Carson Wentz, who kind of filled that, but he just played hero ball too much. So refreshing times, same but different. And Mikey, I can't hear you.
All right, so I'm glad you guys stopped doing that.
Yeah, for real. So we'll see. At least it's a change.
Get over here.
Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting different results. So I'm glad that we kind of bucked that trend. And now the biggest concern is, does Jonathan Taylor stay? Do we trade for, some, early picks or something like that? But either way,
we didn't hit that point when we were talking about the running backs. That's the worst part. What are you going to trade them for? No one's going to give you anything besides a third.
You can get a running back in the third and just rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
But the other thing outside of all of this is, if Jonathan Taylor plays, great. But Zach Moss hit 100 yards last year, which he never did with the Buffalo Bills. The Colts had a really good string of games at the end of the year for running. So, the Colts, if Anthony Richardson can make that difference this year, they could be contenders for this division, not the conference, but this division, the AFC South, not necessarily the strongest division. So, I project the Colts finishing second. I think the Jaguars kind of have the division right now. And then, the Texans and the Titans are kind of in a weird position. So it's hard to really project them. But that's where I see Colts being a little bit more steady than the other two teams.
That's something we didn't talk about. Just give Jonathan Taylor what he wants. You don't have to pay your quarterback for another 5 years. And Anthony Richardson is raw. Like, he's going to struggle in the NFL because he's just not ready. I mean, watching him in the SEC, that guy just wasn't able to process and wasn't able to throw football very well. He has the ability. He's got the arm talent. Give him the best opportunity he can. You've fluffed every chance you've had with every quarterback the last few years when you guys have had a good roster. Give your quarterback the best chance because he's going to be your quarterback for the next 2 to 3 years at least.
Yeah.
Well, unless you guys absolutely biff and get the chance to get Caleb Williams.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think what will happen is they basically agree to disagree. This is the last year. Jonathan Taylor, kind of gets on the field when he's healthy, and then I think he finds a contract somewhere else next year, and that's kind of what happens. We get a comp pick for him or something like that. So, and, at the end of the day, it kind of sucks to not have Jonathan Taylor forever. If we do get a deal done, I'd be ecstatic. But if we don't, there's other things that you can do in the NFL. So, but other than that, do you guys outside looking in? Do you see the Colts as the second team in the AFC South right now, or are we still kind of bottom feeders in the worst division?
I still think it's the Titans. I'm like Vrabel's got too good of a coaching scheme. You're going to have Derrick Henry back. You'll have Tannehill, and you may not believe in Tannehill to win the Super Bowl, but he's a solid quarterback. They will win games. They got D-Hop, and you can make all the jokes you want, but D-Hop is elite in general, and they're just nasty. They're a nasty team.
The only thing is, I know that Vrabel will have a good defense, but they don't have they got worse on defense as far as just quality of players. I feel like, in my opinion, I think coaching wise they'll still be good, but you can tell that they had a noticeable drop in players on the defense.
Yeah, I still see Jaguars, Titans fighting for first, and then Texans, Colts are kind of in that same spot, building up, trying this new quarterback thing, fighting to see who goes up there.
That's fair.
And then I'm not even like 100% sold on the Jags.
I am. I like Doug Peterson a lot, and that defense.
I do like him.
That defense is really solid. And you know they went pretty far with Christian Kirk as their best wide receiver. So I got to give the Jags their dues right now. They have the division. And then like you said, the Titans and the Jags have the most tenured coaches in our division, so it's hard to say that these new coaches are gonna.
I believe the Jags have the division. I don't think they're like. I don't believe like the hype of like them like as a really good playoff contender. I should have been more specific.
Okay.
Have you guys seen the videos of Calvin Ridley? Guy is crisp.
Dude, he's so money.
Yeah.
He's looking so good.
I hope you guys know I'm taking him in our draft that we have coming up. He's mine.
All right. Well, if you stuck to the end here, I salute you, man. That's an hour 20 minutes that you put into this. So good on you. But if you're watching all the other cut up videos, definitely give us a like, comment, and subscribe for each one of those. We really appreciate that. Like I said at the beginning too, we're putting out more and more content now that we got some content to talk about. So, like, comment, subscribe gets you more opportunities to hear us later. So do that real quick. Any last thoughts from you guys?
YouTube TV's Sunday ticket prices are redonkulous. That is bullshit. Yeah. That's my last thing.
All right, Mikey.
I don't know. I'm thinking about I might take a step up this year. Might do like a little Patriots series throughout the season. I don't know. I'm going to come up with some ideas. I might do a solo. Maybe have you guys on every once in a while. But I'm going to come up with some ideas and see what I can work out. But if you guys want to strictly Patriots content on here, just stay tuned. I'm going to be doing some stuff throughout the season.
I'll do that with the Browns. I got no life anymore. My girlfriend lives states away. All I do is work. I got this.
And I've been doing it, so keep your eye out for that Colts content too. But other than that, deuces. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.
There you go.